What is up, everybody? It's your boy Rogue here. So, I'm gonna be taking a challenge for the next 30 days. I'm gonna try to drop you guys daily content to end off the year with bangers for you guys. So be on the lookout for a sporadic content. As you guys can see, I've been dropping YouTube shorts like crazy. So expect something different every damn day. And today I'm doing a discussion because that's what I feel like doing. And I'm gonna do a quick discussion before I start my Instacart order. And essentially I'm gonna talk about the format and why I don't think it's gonna be as bad as everybody talking about. So we're in a tier 0 format and everyone hates it. Everyone can agree that playing on the opponent's turn is not cool. We have Ishizu tier limits, activating Ishizu monsters in their hand and milling on the opponent's turn, allowing them to trigger more mills, which can effectively mill the opponent's stuff and allow them to play and just mill off their own stuff and just make a goofy board on your opponent's turn. And then we have the only deck that can really fight against it, well, consistently at least, and that's Flunderies, which is essentially the anti-meta version of that deck that can also play on the opponent's turn. Those are two arguably some of the best decks in the format. Then of course Ishizu got different variants from Bestials and etc. So I think with the format we have now with 3D Fisher, 3 Macrocosmos, we still got cards like Silent Graveyard. If you guys haven't seen my YouTube short about that, check it out. I'm pretty much going into detail on why that card is good. And I think we have a lot of stuff that can potentially slow down the format and help other decks win. We've seen players do this all the time throughout the metagame and previous tier 0 formats. Yu-Gi-Oh players always re-innovate stuff. A lot of the times, a lot of us players just complain a lot because we don't playtest a lot or enough for said format. I'm guilty of this myself. I was one of those players back in the day, about 5 years ago. I ranted and raved about every little single thing, and I come to realize I really ranted and raved is because I was playing Rogue, and I just didn't want to play a solidly good deck to combat the metagame. Well, the metagame is unhealthy. We can all agree. We should already know that Konami ain't gonna change anything anyway, so ain't no really point of saying, hey, because like, I'm going on Facebook, right? And I'm saying everybody in Zodiac Duelist, different Facebook groups, different videos from different content creators, all pretty much saying the format sucks, there's nothing we can do, and it is what it is. Well, as a player that's been playing for 20 plus years, I've played in multiple tier 0 formats, and unlike formats like the Dragon Ruler format, for example, which was completely terrible, and the Pepe format, at the very least I can say this is probably one of the best tier 0 formats we've had in a while, because the main deck matchup is very skill intensive. Ishizu tier versus Ishizu tier, it's a lot of strategy. You got to know what to mill, what to fuse, etc. That's really good. When to chain link, how to do it properly, and etc. But outside of that, outside of that at least, the rogue decks have a chance. Now, a lot of you guys might say, well, I can't play my decks like heroes. I'm a hero player. And I feel you guys. You guys want to play a rogue decks that you guys want to play. Well, card games don't work that way, man. Card games work, you play the best deck to win, and that's it. Or you play, if you don't want to play the best deck, you play the best anti-meta deck that can counter the best deck, which is personally why I've switched up from heroes to Crystal Beast. Crystal Beast is a solidly good deck that not only it can do things like Flunderies by main deck and D-Shifter, it can also take advantage of these other cards like Macrocosmos because they don't rely on their graveyard. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players, instead of complaining, ranting, and moaning about the format, you guys just seriously just need to change your deck, pitch your favorite deck down, and pick up something a little more competitive that can combat the format, or just play casual until the format is over. No one's twisting anybody arm to play. No one's begging anybody. And like I've said in one of my live streams, I believe recently, the format is going to be popping. Like, I don't know, I know a lot of people don't do content, but I see every time there's a tier 0 format, there's way more players at locals than there are online complaining about the game. Like people saying, oh, I'm taking a break from the game, but I see people at locals consistently playing Yu-Gi-Oh. My locals in Chicago, brand new locals, Quality Gaming, went from 15 players during this quote unquote unbalanced format and jumped it to like every week is 25 to 30 players plus. And guess what, guys? Everyone's not playing meta. Reason is because people are like, look, we understand the Ishizu tournaments is the best deck. However, we're still going to try to beat the deck with our own unique strategies. Now, For you guys that are hyper competitive, you guys just want to win, you guys are going to play the best deck anyway. But for you guys that are like me who say, look, I'm competitive, but I want to win my own way, you're going to try to innovate. A lot of Yu-Gi-Oh players really don't innovate, and that's the real problem with today's Yu-Gi-Oh player versus back in the day, before YouTube, before Yu-Gi tubers and all this deck profile stuff. We actually had to go to locals, play test the deck, go on forums. So you guys don't know what forums are. They're essentially, this is before Zodiac deals. People had to go on Pojo, hope somebody posted a deck list from their locals, and see and share ideas, which is why if you go to Pojo now, I haven't been on Pojo in years, they had like different forum categories for different decks and archetypes to help guys get better at the game by playing those decks. So I just think, honestly, and this is no shading as no Yu-Gi-Oh players or anybody like that, because you're entitled to feel that the game is crap right now, but you guys got to realize, we play Yu-Gi-Oh, and Yu-Gi-Oh is a unique game that does not utilize block format. I made an older video, go check it out. It's called Why Yu-Gi-Oh Needs Block Format, and essentially it's this. Card games that I've seen and played that didn't have block format eventually died because, eventually, or they were healthy rather, that didn't need block format died because the game was too balanced. When a game is hyper balanced like that, it gets boring. The thing that keeps Yu-Gi-Oh intriguing is because we have these toxic metals, we have these toxic formats, we have rants from Yu-Gi tubers and players complaining about said game. So I guess as a closing statement to this video, I think I kind of got everything else I want to say. This is a little bit of a rant. Yu-Gi-Oh players, we have to understand that the game is not going to change no matter what year, what meta, what format it's going to be. Konami's going to do what they do. The only way we can get true balance is block format, which is what we're not going to get because they're going to kill the game. For you guys that don't know what block format is, essentially you get a core set. It's kind of what Magic and Pokemon does. You get a core set of like staples and things, and then you get 4 major sets throughout the year, and you got to play with those 4 major sets, and it keeps the game fresh, unique, and honestly motivated, and honestly helps the company who's producing the game allow players to buy packs and reinvest into the game. So what do you guys think, man? Do you guys think Yu-Gi-Oh players complain too much about the metagame? Like I said, I used to be one of them until I matured and just realized, look, things ain't gonna change. At least this time, Konami America gave us a solid balance to try to at least complete. I mean, we got Ptolemy's off the list, which can allow us to make that Satellar Knight monster that just negate dark monster effects. I don't think Tearlaments is gonna be super sweet and winning everything like people think it is. I think we're gonna have a lot of regionals of rogue decks coming up because now we have at least have tools to fight back, man. So tell me what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. Like the video if you're new here, man. Engagement is important. I don't see why you guys can't like the video. You're here, you're watching it, liking is free. All right, man, it's your boy Rogue. I gotta go start an Instacart order because it's letting me know I gotta start my order soon. So I'm signing out, man. Peace and stay innovative. Deuces.